Right, I told myself I'd get one go at that. Hello, and welcome back again to the Comic-Con review of Lower Decks this time. I'm recording the wrong screen. Here we go. Welcome back. Lower Decks Season 2. The best Trek, dare I say. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Prodigy video, which is 8% uploaded right now. And we're just gonna hop in. I've seen this trailer before. Actually, I should do the brief intro again. The trailer we're about to review, the Comic-Con 2021 trailer, is in the description below. I recommend you watch that and then come back here because I'll show all the relevant bits of the trailer, but for copyright, I can't just play the whole trailer. But anyway, I'm gonna watch it, get my initial reactions and stuff, even though I've seen this before, and then we're gonna do a more frame-by-frame analysis of the entire trailer as I double-check everything is recording. So shall we begin? Also, yes, that was practice for Lower Decks Poorly Explained.
Wow, would you look at that?
A view like this makes you realize it doesn't matter what deck you work on. We're all in it together. And they left us.
The jokes in this trailer are top tier. Was that Free Cloud? Titan! I'm so happy.
Tougher spots than this.
Thanks, Tom Paris. I am a
Rob-
little worried about the fumes in here, though.
Robert
You know,
Duncan
since you're talking to a
McNeil.
plate.
Duncan McNeil. We're gonna talk about him. The nerve on that guy, I love it.
We do. Maybe not here,
Ooh,
but here.
bad
Our
for
skin.
Ink.
Our brains. It's our
right,
brain.
brains are inside of our skin.
I love that line. Lower Decks. I love Lower Decks. I'm also gonna readjust my camera because the leg was blocking that trailer. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so obviously Lower Decks, very fast-paced. Lot to talk about in this trailer, and of course we have also got afterwards a little news article, also linked in the description, discussing what was actually said at the panel, because I slept through it because it was at 10 a.m., and I don't have the internet to live stream, especially while watching a live stream of Comic-Con. So yeah, there's some interesting plot lines. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I've just seen this. The last picture was of Tendi as like some Mantis thing, but way more interesting is whoever this guy is has got a plushie of the Temerian we're gonna see later in the trailer. I love Lower Decks' background jokes. Miranda class, we knew that before. Actually, is that the USS Malcolm? No, it's a Mac. I don't know, but it's not a ship we know is the important. I love what's absolutely gonna be a cold open, but you know, love this scene.
They left us. How much oxygen do we have? A lot? A little? Well,
Boimler. Interesting with this whole trailer actually is you've got Boimler with the crew a lot of the time, and I think they're very careful to not show him in his proper uniform, because they've said they're not going back. Boimler's going to stay on the Titan with Riker, maybe not through the whole season, but they're saying they're not going to go back on that promotion. Like, we see he's actually there. But we see him with the crew. It looks like the Titan's in the background, like on joint missions maybe. But here, like, he's in a spacesuit. We see him later in what I've deemed like the racer uniform. So, like, out of his Titan uniform, and also without rank pips. So if he gets demoted and or gets sent back to the Cerritos, they're doing a good job of hiding that, of not showing us if it's something that happens or not, which is great. These trailers are in general among the best for not actually spoiling or saying anything that's going to happen in the show. Prodigy was great, but that was technically a teaser, so, you know, you'd expect it. No, I do know that alien. I'm going to have to find a picture on Memory Alpha, but it's a TAS alien, isn't it? The guy that could take his body apart. He was like a colony of people, I'm pretty sure. Also, there's the bird therapist again down there, and oh, I stand corrected. Look at down there is a Boimler in his Lower Decks uniform. So, it wouldn't be a great surprise if he transfers back to the Cerritos at some point. It might be a bit weird as a mid-season thing, because, you know, he's not handling the Titan very well. This could be a flashback, of course, but there is a Boimler back in his Cerritos uniform, as opposed to the Titan First Contact Deep Space Nine style. And, actually, that's Boimler as an ensign. This guy I recognize. I don't think he was the guy who got promoted to the Titan first and then fired. I'm pretty sure he's different. I don't see other major titles, but this is Boimler as an ensign on the Cerritos. Which is interesting. Flashback or demotion? I'm interested to see. Yes, that is Free Cloud. You've got Quarks up there. You got the place, I think Picard had this advertised to him. But I'm pretty sure that this is Free Cloud. But, then again, Free Cloud, I believe, was in the neutral zone, if not right next to the neutral zone. So I thought Free Cloud was a byproduct of the supernova. In fact, I'm going to look this up. Okay, that took a bit of work, but you've got Free Cloud is located in the Alpha Daedalus system, yada yada. And then that leads you here to this stub. You stated that that is located in the Iconia sector of the Beta Quadrant, which, as we know, is in the neutral zone. You could have disbanded the neutral zone earlier thanks to the Dominion War, but, oops, that's the wrong trailer. But, yeah, that's interesting if this is Free Cloud. Reading a lot into it, but Lower Decks is generally very respectful to its canon. I stopped there because I just saw this looks like a reference to the, lady... God, was it the episode where Picard, they thought he was dead, and he was, like, with a bunch of mercenaries, the, like, four-armed piano-playing lady? Anyone? No? Looks like you also got a Galdonian, was it, from the first episode down there. And I'm learning that my Lower Decks reactions videos are going to take... They're going to be basically a pub quiz of my Memory Alpha knowledge. I love this scene, because I knew that race. I couldn't quite place it. It reminded me a lot of the Boris from the Orville.
Welcome to the Cerritos.
And then he was like,
when he joined the Seven.
and I'm like, oh, it's a Temerian. Also you got the bird therapist. But yeah, really looking forward to a Temerian episode. Who apparently they joined the Federation. So, the people who make the New Horizons Stellaris mod, that's the one race, one of the few races that I think inherently cannot join the Federation. Change it. Of course, we knew about the Cardassian Black Ops, Grey Ops episode. I was a bit disappointed. I'll be honest, from these hints, it looks like they are continuing with the Cardassians as we know them, unless a changed Cardassia is a result of the Dominion War. They probably joined the Federation by the 32nd century, we know thanks to Discovery. But, yeah, this is interesting to see that they might still be that kind of evil race from pre-Dominion War. But I love the little touches, like that's a Cardassian control panel, just Lower Decks in its detail is always phenomenal. Are those Galore? No, those are Nausicaans. Hang on. I can't tell. Those might be Nausicaan ships. Well, we know they're Nausicaans. They're Nausicaans in a trailer. But I can't quite tell. It's not exactly Nausicaan, but it's pretty close. And Lower Decks is allowed to invent a few ships, as well as just, you know, take existing ones.
This could be your year to get promoted.
So there's that hint. This could be a year to get promoted, and then...
It takes?
Yes!
Okie dokie.
I'm not convinced that's actually a quote. Especially, I'd be very surprised if it's a quote, the Admiral of the crew. I've just realized it could be, and probably is, the Admiral talking to Mariner. I thought it could be the Admiral talking to the Captain. But, it could, yeah, I forgot there was the father-daughter relationship there. If you haven't seen Season 1 of Lower Decks, you probably should have stopped watching this video a very long time ago. I did love that Mariner's drawn a little like Mariner's HQ thing, which I don't believe was there in the original teaser. I love the idea of Boimler just how everyone would be on the Titan. I remember when I played the Doctor Who Edge of Reality game, I think it was, the VR one. After the Weeping Angels level, just like absolutely terrifying, there was a little line by like the robot voice or something. It was like, you know, it makes you wonder how the Doctor does it. And I paused and I was like, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't want to be on the TARDIS anymore. I don't want that. But I love, it's probably how most of us would be if we actually did serve on a Starfleet ship. I just want to check too. Again, no rank pips on Boimler. Like, even though he's serving on the Titan, no rank pips. I've just realized a joke. I was trying to see, that looked a lot like Rutherford. Obviously, no cyborg impact, the hair's not right. And then I realized that this might also be an Orion. So I think they might be doing, like, a fake Lower Decks crew. I could see him setting up a joke, like, I haven't replaced you or something, and then Boimler's new friends look exactly like the Lower Decks crew. That'd be fun if they did something like that. I knew that painting. That painting right there looked really familiar, and it is in fact the painting of the naked woman mirrored from The Next Generation. So the person on Reddit who does all the canon references, there's a freebie for you. It's just this painting flipped. That's a Lower Decks, man. It's amazing. You got the Amok Time little weapon, an Andorian ice pick, a Batleth and a Matleth, and one I don't immediately recognize. It might be a Vulcan thing. There you go. That's my video. That's my, like, post on Reddit for the day. It's gonna be amazing. I bet these shoes are a reference I'm missing. Actually, hang on. No, I thought they might be Spock's, like, levitation boots from Star Trek V. But if you know that reference, let me know, because I'm missing it. Yep, here are the Nausicaans I mentioned before. They're back in Lower Decks. It's not lost on me either that Nausicaan scene is very similar to, when Picard lost his heart, the tapestry brawl. They were playing the same sport and everything. Again, I did entirely miss, Boimler in a Lower Decks ensign. Yeah, Boimler's definitely gonna spend some time as an ensign in Lower Decks Season 2. Whether through demotion or a lot of flashbacks, but there's a surprising amount of Ensign Boimler in this trailer. Here we go. I'm just gonna play the whole scene for this bit, and then...
Tougher spots than this.
Thanks, Tom Paris.
I am a little worried about the fumes in here, though. You know, since you're talking to a plate.
Oh, I've just realized, I thought that was like a tablet. That's just a plate he has of Tom Paris, which is amazing. But Robert Duncan McNeil, right? Like, 2 days ago, went out and announced that they really wanted to get him for Picard seasons 1 and 2, but he just couldn't met with his schedule. And he was like, yeah, it'd be real fun to come back as Paris. You knew this was gonna happen. You knew this trailer, and it's like, oh my god, is everyone's favorite Romulan would say, Irish Romulan would say.
Cheeky fuckers.
Because, wow, that's just amazing. I like that, though. It's great to have another legacy character. Especially Tom Paris is a nice one to bring back. I don't know why, but I feel like it's just a nice one to bring back. And it makes sense now, if he's a plate, like commemorative plate, why he's in his, Voyager uniform. And also, I was gonna have a small nitpick that technically he's not Tom Paris, he's Tom Paris Torres. But if he's on a commemorative plate, he might have been Tom Paris. Alright, I take it back. He actually is Tom Paris. Apparently. The Childish side is Tom Paris. B'Elanna's not side is Torres Paris. I had the memory of Paris Torres before. My Klingon video was apparently wrong because I said it too. But anyways, here's the racing uniform I was talking about earlier. That it seems to be based off the, racing episode of Voyager, that uniform they did. I don't recognize the shop names. The Lucky Ferengi, it looks like. I think that's an Argo they're driving around. And yeah, he does have a rank pip. Again, an ensign. I think Boimler gets demoted pretty early on in the series. I think he gets demoted and sent back to the Cerritos. Because, this, I doubt this scene's a flashback, but he is most certainly an ensign. Which it kind of makes sense, because I didn't expect Boimler to stay on the Titan past season 2. I would have loved it, but I think Lower Decks is a show that could get it the full 7 seasons, and is basically going to run until... they're done with it, sounds wrong, but until either the ratings fall, or maybe the writers get a bit burnt out. But I could see it going for several more years. And Jonathan Frakes, who I'd love more of him, I just didn't suspect he'd play Riker for that long in such a dedicated role, you know. Maybe bring him back for cameos, especially directing, but not several seasons in a dedicated role. And so I think Boimler's going to get demoted, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure this right here is just an array of suits Quark has worn. That's very Quark. And they're all blurry, but they all kind of look like suits I know Quark has worn. There's this scene again. So yeah, at some point Tindy's gonna become a big praying mantis creature. Maybe the, what is it, Barclay protomorphism syndrome or something? An episode on that. Backleds and the beautiful Titan. Just props. Thank you, Lower Decks, for keeping the whole finale of season 1 under wraps. I was jumping up and down with joy in it. The whole thing. Bringing Will Riker back. Bringing him on not just the Titan, but the Titan. The Titan that we've known and loved for years. Over a decade now. It's the Titan. Which, if you don't know, was designed by a fan for the book series about the Titan. Which was the ship Riker was always going to command. Every alternate future in Nemesis has him commanding the Titan. Well, the Titan or the Enterprise D, but the Titan's like his proper ship. And it looked like that. It's the Titan. You can see it right there, my little model, but way before Lower Decks. And I can't wait for an XL. Eagle Moss, come on. But yeah, more Packlets is interesting. I've just realized if they took a space dock or something in their ship, I don't know, but... really excited for Lower Decks. Borg Boimler. Assimilated Boimler is interesting. It could be a, I just was interested for many reasons. It could be like a horror thing in his mind, but if they're bringing back the Borg at all, that's interesting, because there's always the question of, was Endgame the end of the Borg in Voyager? And the obvious answer is absolutely yes. Endgame very much seems like they killed the Borg. In Picard, Michael Caban or something like that, is it? The guy who did Picard anyway was very careful when asked, are the Borg gone? Not to say that they died, but to say that everybody in the Alpha Quadrant clearly believes that the Borg threat is ended and they're all dead. I say what I'm going to put is the objectively correct answer is that yes, Endgame, Voyager's finale, killed the Borg till such a time that any future writer wants to make a Borg story. And it looks like that day might be today. Because of this. Actually, I've just realized I'm going to have to tell my partner to draw some Borg thumbnails for Lower Decks. But anyway, yeah, very interesting place in the timeline to bring back the Borg. I mean, I'm all for more Borg, but it might have some ramifications for Picard, because we know then that Picard knew the Borg threat wasn't over back in Lower Decks. I mean, it was a bit confusing anyway, because you had the artifact, and when did they get the artifact, and it's a bit unclear, but welcome to the Picard storyline. Ooh, was that the crystalline entity? Yes, obviously not the crystalline entity, but there's a new crystalline entity. In 13 episodes, I'm amazed what they're gonna fit in terms of reference and callback.
The Ferengi got everyone else. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, that's interesting. Again, Ensign Brad Boimler of the Cerritos. But, sort of evil Ferengi as opposed to the liberal reform Ferengi we saw, even in Season 1, thanks to Deep Space Nine. I'm not opposed to there being evil Ferengi. I'll just call them evil Ferengi. Elsewhere, because like a complete societal change would be massive. Like maybe these are Ferengi pirates or something, but I did like that Lower Decks respected the reforms that the Ferengi society made, and becoming still incredibly capitalist, but more liberal and accepted, at least equal. Horrifically capitalist, but, you know what I mean. More liberal Ferengi.
Only we had special powers.
We do. Maybe not here, but here.
Our skin!
Our brains. It's our
right.
brains.
Brains are inside of our skin.
Love that joke. I'm gonna have to remember that joke. Right, brains are inside of our skin. August 12th. Looking at you, Prodigy, not telling us. We know, at least according to Memory Alpha, I've never seen this referenced, but Lower Deck Season 2 is going to have 13 episodes, meaning it's going to run until October 22nd, which is quite a long run. I'll be doing videos kind of like this, reaction, review, and analysis for all of them when they come out, so if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe to this channel. They probably won't be as long as these, but I'll be doing it. I like this little ending scene.
Love you too. Never disobey me again. I do what I want.
And there we go. There is our trailer. Really good. You know, there's a lot covered, a lot not covered. I haven't done a video on the little teaser trailer they did, because it was before my channel, I believe. It was a bit before. But I'll also link that in the description if you want to watch that and haven't seen it. And with that, because it's a Season 2, there's not as much to talk about, broadly speaking, with Lower Decks, as much as there was with Prodigy. So I'm going to move on straight to the article here. Same one we covered in my Prodigy video. It's just continuing on, because they combined them all into one. Yeah, Star Trek fandom has been incredibly welcoming. That is because you've actually made a show that understands Star Trek, embraces it, and is generally funny, good, and well written, which is a rarity these days. Yeah, the cosplay and art has all been great for Lower Decks. I'd love a Lower Decks uniform of my own. Yeah, more Mariner and Captain Freeman. We kind of figured they'd build on that relationship and that revelation that they're related. And it's going to be interesting with, it's just interesting. I'm looking forward to that developing. And this next bit covers that very well, where Season 2 offers a mix of serious Trek and silly Trek. If I wanted anything more from Season 1, it had an amazing... I can't remember the exact name, but it's like, that's Starfleet for you, like, great at fixing, horrible at cleanup, or something like that. And that was generally the most interesting, unique, and fascinating take of Starfleet and the Federation I have ever heard. They did do quite a lot of that for like 10 episodes, exploring that theme, and it looks with the Pack-Leds that's going to come in more. But I would have loved more of that, almost like how the Orville toned its comedy down a bit and went more into serious sci-fi. Love that it's a comedy, really enjoy the jokes. But I think Lower Decks, that team, is the first team we've had since Enterprise, like Seasons 3 and 4, that really could understand and nail that Star Trek in the serious aspect. And I'm very happy to hear they're going to do more and explore that more. Keep the comedy. Keep it a comedy. But I'd love to see a lot of those proper Star Trek stories and that exploration of the franchise itself, and even other, that other bits of like the political or social analysis, but just analyzing the franchise itself. I think if Season 2 does that, adding to the comedy and using those extra 3 episodes to explore it as well, it's gonna be phenomenal. That's interesting. Pack-Leds are back. Treating them like the Klingons or the Romulans in TOS and TNG respectively is the big bad that has to be dealt with. And I like that as idea. It's the perfect Lower Decks villain. And as a lot of people have pointed out, the Pack-Leds or the Borg rather, are basically the Pack-Leds like 100 years from now. Just assimilating, getting more and more powerful, so it is interesting. But I like that the Cerritos isn't in charge of the big missions. They met him first, so they'll be involved, which is nice. A good excuse to get the characters, most of the main characters in there. But I kind of like the idea of, almost the Dominion Wars going on, but we're like the small science vessel and we're not involved in it at all. I like the idea of course, this isn't going to be the Dominion War, but of there being that threat that you come up with across every now and then, but other people are dealing with, and you hear the news, but it's other people doing it. I really like that idea. We'll get that exposure from the Titan, but I'd love to see how the Lower Decks crew deals with that. I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, Lower Decks just 3 weeks away. I'm not sure exactly what day this is going up because of my upload speed, but on probably the Friday the 13th. Ooh, launching a new series. But Friday the 13th, I'll do those Lower Decks reaction videos. I'm really looking forward to those. On the episodes themselves. But yeah, honestly, I think that's all I've got for Lower Decks Season 2. Looking forward to it so much. Looking forward to the Eagle Moss models even more. Well, not even more, but just as much. But yeah, this is definitely a great taste that they're going to continue to do the amazing stuff they did in Season 1. They're going to improve on it. They're going to do it better. Actually mess up the formula a bit and improve it. It's a shame the best Star Trek seems to be the only one doing that so far. I'm gonna get flack for that. But, yeah, really looking forward to it. So that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for our Lower Decks episode reactions. And if you missed it, there'll be a video probably on the end card right now, where we did this, but for the Prodigy video. A lot more to talk about, specifically the ship, the Protostar, and yeah, good Comic-Con. I wish we had more dates and more Star Treks, though.